A quick one, our collaboration with Trees Association of Asia. Okay, so we are from Malaysia. Okay, so we are starting our Trees program since I think 2010, 2009. Okay, so we start ahead from Trees Association of Asia, and we are collaborating also with Matriz. So we have a similarity regarding with Trees Asia, and from there we are collaborating with Trees Asia, try to um, duplicate, try to collaborate and try to develop, support Trees Asia in terms of the founding program regarding with the model, how to move forward, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is our collaboration partners with Trees Asia, and I think Trees Asia have done a very good job in developing initiative, collaborating with so-called universities and also industries. Okay, so there's a lot of tools that Trees Asia use, patent inspiration, knowledge transfer, and so on and so forth. Okay, so and in academic, I think Trees Asia are working hard in what you call showing how does Trees able to complement um, academic program. So here I think they mentioned about a project-based kind of approach, research by PhD level, entrepreneurship, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I will share a bit about my personal experience and how does Malaysia able to do and execute this kind of program. Okay, under Trees Malaysia. Okay, so it will be a good guide for Trees Asia and the partners in India, and try to develop your own collaboration program toward the success of synergizing trees in academic level. Okay. Okay, and then yeah, this is some organization that have been involved in teaching trees. Okay, so we have MIT, Netherlands, Finland. We have in India, we have a lot here. So congratulations with that. Okay, in Malaysia, we have a few what do you call university that have been championed by certain lecturers that really passionate in introducing trees into their program. Okay, so I might share a few of the program in Malaysia. Okay, so here we can see a lot of organization that already started. Okay, with trees program. I think Trees Asia have done a very good job. Okay, RMIT in Australia, MIT, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we have PV Narayan as a president, and also we have Dr. Sandeep as one of our partner today. Okay, so yeah, you could engage with them to learn more about how you want to move forward. Okay, so next we go to the next chapter, next topic regarding with my personal journey of research and consultancy. Okay, so this is my route and how I became a national trees expert. Okay, a very quick one. Graduated as a mechanical engineer in 2002. My first experience as a mold designer. Okay, and then I shifted my career to production, and then I moved to a national automotive company, and I've learned a lot from this kind of experience. I pursue my study in my PhD, okay, during my terms in the automotive company. And my PhD is about trees, okay, specifically on trees. And from there, I finished my PhD and involved in a lot of decision making for the company. Along the way, I also train people in quality and also in innovation. Become consultant with a few big companies, especially in government-linked companies. And then I left my automotive company and become a lecturer in UTM. And then from my research, I create a spin-off. And from there, I have a lot of, I will share a bit about how to turn your research into a commercialization unit or business unit, okay? So this is a very quick one, talking about my journey today. And okay, this is my first experience, okay, as a mold designer, okay. I've developed my expertise in plastic injection mold, developing a front panel for DVD players, okay, for Sony product, okay. So we have a version, Thailand version, Indonesia version, Malaysia version. So we have, I've personally developed more than 5 mold base variant for Sony product, okay. And then from there, I also produce plastic banana leaf plate and also what they call socket, plastic socket for electric socket. So from here, I've experienced talking about learning a lot of things in university, okay, and theoretically lah, okay, theoretically from the mechanical engineering perspective, and hoping that I have a good experience working in the industry, hoping that it will be a great experience in becoming mold designer, okay. But actually is not working well, okay. So there's a lot of factor that influence my experience just 1 year learning and also becoming a successful mold designer, okay. So there's a lot of issues in the organization itself, the top management, at the same time learning new things and also organization culture, okay. So with that kind of a taste of real world, actually it is not really smooth sailing when you try to shift your, what do you call, your world from the academic world into a industry real application, okay. So there's a lot of in between communication, trust, and also a lot of conflict of interest coming from the real world perspective lah, okay. So this is my first experience as a mold designer. Next, I only serve a few months, I think less than 1 year, okay, and I've moved my career to, wait a minute, okay, and then I've shifted, oh sorry, there's okay, and then I shifted to Japanese electronic companies, okay. So the Japanese electronic companies give me a lot of good experience, especially in quality, okay. So I'm developing, I'm be a part of production value chain, okay, developing an electronic capacitor, okay. So involving man, machine, material, methods. So I learned a lot of Japanese Kaizen tools in this company. And this is my first hand experience, learning quality tools in what you call in a real Japanese culture company. Okay. So along with that, I've learned a lot about how does the Japanese organization really focus on trust, okay? And there is a seniority, hierarchy, okay? So there is a senior people you need to respect, and then what they call new guys coming in, okay? And how does you, what they call, manage this kind of culture, also politics, without a doubt, okay? There's also politics involved, expectation, okay? In quality, we call it zero defect, okay? So we need to understand and also what you call inculcate this so-called zero defect philosophy, okay? And how to comply with all the regulation, certification, and customer expectation. And here also I have experienced firsthand about leadership, okay? So how do you manage a lot of organization in production? You have more than, I think, 500 people or 300 people, okay? Working shift, okay? And then of course the Japanese value, okay? So they really, what you call, uphold, they're really critical about the Japanese value in their working culture, okay? So this is my first touch regarding with Japanese culture that focus mainly on the quality in production, okay? And then I learned a lot, 11 years in automotive company, okay? So the company I've worked is Proton Holding. So my first, what do you call, designation is quality control executive, okay? So I'm involved in managing what you call so-called quality for body assembly. We call it body in white, okay? So the body assembly is critical, where actually we need to ensure that all mounting parts, the accuracy, fittings will be determined by this kind of quality of the product, okay? So I learned a lot, I developed Saga, okay? And from there, we learn a lot how does a car develop from scratch, okay? So and how we want to control the quality of the car, okay? And then I've been transferred as a special officer under quality directors. So I learned another new model, Inspira. It is under collaboration with Mitsubishi, okay? So the new model is rebatch, okay? And then I've been transferred to R&D for a special project. We call it vehicle cost reduction. So the group, a special group, been assigned to reduce costs, okay, for the whole company, especially for the design and develop involved in what you call MPV, okay, Izora. And the last post I've managed is under corporate strategy as a system manager. So taking care of a few transformation initiative in the corporate level, okay? So it is a very good experience for me to do the transformation or transition coming from the technical background towards a corporate strategy, what you call, experience. So in the corporate strategy level, it is really across value chain of the automotive company, okay? So from there, I developed a lot of knowledge and experience in understanding organization value and also strategy. Okay, so this is a short video. One of my big project in Proton. So from there, I've been what do you call a part of a quality digitization program. Okay, so from there, okay, I've been what do you call learn a lot about how to transform what do you call common quality process inspection into a conventional process into a digitalization process. So here are some activity that involve a lot of cost saving. Okay, so conventionally every new product, every new project costs about 3 million ringgit for a jigs, inspection jigs. Okay, so we eliminate those inspection jig and we try to change it into a coordinate measuring machine kind of system. Okay, so it save company in total about 2 million. Okay, we just spend 1 million for the equipment, and the equipment able to use across different model. Okay, so from there we evolve into optical scanner, we evolve into a laser scanner, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is a very successful project we have done in the company, and we able to achieve ROI for less than 1 year. Okay, for this kind of project. Okay, and then we need to be curious regarding exploring new things. Okay, because I think we have a lot of what do you call, we have support from internet. Okay, I think internet able to cut cross borders. Okay, I think like Malaysia and India, we just have this kind of engagement directly. Okay, without any layers. Okay, so we need to have this kind of traits. Okay, to explore new things regarding with quality innovation. So so talking about my PhD, okay, I do a lot of research. Okay, so there's a lot of not much new what do you call knowledge being introduced coming from the quality point of view. Okay, it is saturated, and a lot of fundamental knowledge is coming from US. Okay, under Department of Military, Department of Defense. Okay, they are promoting this kind of new knowledge. Okay, but it's years ago. Okay, and I try to introduce new element and try to put a new flavor in this so-called quality and innovation. Okay, so the lack of innovation, so most of the quality is unchallenged. Okay, and we always follow whatever been set up by Japan or by US. Okay, so we try to what do you call hybrid a new tools, a new concept in quality by introducing trees element. So when we try to introduce trees, we try to make it very clear, and the why, the reason, and also the purpose, and how does the mechanism, okay, of innovation that will prevail if we introduce trees into a quality practice. Okay, so there is 5 reasons why I introduce trees into quality. Okay, the first reason is Kaizen is focusing on continuous improvement, which is very famous, very popular around the world. So we have a lot of tools, right? Like QCC tool, 5S, TPM, just in time, Kanban, and so on and so forth. But very seldom, very rare, we heard about Kaikaku. Okay, Kaikaku. So Kaikaku is a disruptive kind of innovation, strategic innovation that is beyond incremental kind of Kaizen approach. Okay, so it is a revolutionary kind of innovation. Okay, so not much kind of research done under Kaikaku. Okay, so this is under Japanese philosophy. So, and most of the Kaizen application is more towards process based. Okay, so we look into Toyota production system, any what you call production system being influenced by Toyota, and it is more focused on the Kaizen philosophy. Okay, so but how about Kaikaku? Okay, why there is less information on Kaikaku? Okay, so because the main reason is it is a secret for the company, not to reveal what actually the strategic innovation or disruptive innovation that under their what do you call cap secret. Okay, so you can go to Japan, Toyota factory, and you can visit their production line. Okay, they can reveal everything how they do it. Okay, on the Kaizen, on the TPM, and so on and so forth. But they cannot reveal strategic innovation kind of information. Okay, so this is the blind spot. Okay, the next part is Six Sigma. Okay, I think you guys really understand about lean and so on and so forth. Okay, so they are more towards focus on optimizing the process. Okay, the quality of the process, the productivity, lean, and so on and so forth. Okay, but what is beyond optimization? Okay, so what is beyond the how we want to go beyond the innovation of becoming that the control element is insignificant anymore. Okay, when we go for self-control, autonomous, AI, and so on and so forth. Okay, so in Design Six Sigma or Lean or in the current quality tools, they always focusing at the end of the tunnel is optimization. Okay, to go beyond optimization, there is no such tool exists in Kaizen, in quality. Okay, so that's why we need this kind of innovation element coming from trees. And talking about quality tool, we have this listed tool, and we have DMAC, DMAC or what do you call DMDV or whatever it is under Six Sigma. Their strength is define, measure, and analyze. Okay, how about improvement? How about ideation? How about innovation? Okay, there's a lack of tool, quality tool that is focusing on this domain. Okay, we only use brainstorming to develop ideas and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is how I've been triggered to explore trees for quality tools. Okay, and talking about customer point of view, we have voice of customer, QFD. We have functional perspective on quality. We have VAVE. Okay, we have design upstream. Okay, we have DFSS. We have DFMEA. Okay, and process, we have Six Sigma. Okay, so how about we go beyond this kind of quality tool? Okay, so the triggering point is there is not much innovation beyond optimization. Okay, and then we try to test this kind of trees tool and try to complement quality tools. Okay, so whatever tool they have in quality, we add trees. Okay, so another part of why I what do you call, put high interest in trees, because of the thinking kind of mechanism. Okay, so this is a very short video to show you between trees and brainstorming. Okay, so enjoy. Okay, so it's a very quick video. I think you can go to YouTube and see a lot of my video in the YouTube channel. Okay, so this is why we introduce trees as a part to complement the existing quality tools. Okay, so it is not replacing totally. Okay, so these are the points that we want to highlight lah for today. Okay. And also we have seen that other peoples are also really successful in introducing trees in their what do you call quality tools. Okay, they try to upscale their capability in quality control. And we know that Samsung is a strong practitioner of trees. Okay, so they really use this kind of tools and try to bring it to another level, especially in their product and also technology. Okay, so we also need to do new things, not just learn. Okay, if learn, then it will be not practical. If you do things, then we know what is the strength and the opportunity lies with trees. So I've developed a program with my colleagues in the company, and we try to test trees. Does it work? Does it really show result? Okay, so we teach engineers, and we try to develop what will be the best impact. Okay, if we learn trees for the product design or quality. Okay, so we develop a few products and we even use it in our car. Okay, so we solve a few things and we try to what you call improve our product functionality and also our product cost. Okay, so these are the real case study that we have done in Malaysia, and we really use it in our product. So all Proton car have our trees product inside. So and then okay, this is some of my research work done under Proton. Okay, so we have used trees for material design, utilization, try to improve complexity of product, weight optimization, and also pattern circumvention. Okay, so we study a few patterns from Volkswagen, and we try to circumvent that pattern and redesign our engine to have a foolproof design kind of concept. Okay, and to be honest, it is very successful, and we able to what do you call achieve a lot of very significant outcome when using this kind of trees tool. So we go beyond optimization, we go beyond control, we go beyond what is normally practiced in quality. And then yeah, I've graduated, and the company able to save 13 millions per year. It is quite awesome. Okay, but I don't get the portion of it. Okay, I've published some papers. Okay, you can go to Google Scholar and look into all the case study all the case study that is published for public domain, and got the recognition from the Prime Minister itself Okay, he is the chairman of Proton. Okay, so this is a very great opportunity for me to get the recognition from Tun Mahathir Mohamad. Okay, so you need to go the boundary of opportunities. Okay, so what's next after using trees for cost reduction? Okay, so in trees we have a lot of tool. We call it trend of engineering system evolution. So what if we can use trees to go beyond the future, to use it for foresight? Okay, to go to the higher level and be more competitive. Okay, so one of the tool I've learned is trend indicators of decreasing human involvement. Okay, so we have automotive process, and then we try to improve it. Okay, try to decrease human involvement. So we use this tool, and then we try to look into the level of optimization and autonomous automation. Okay, so first level is full involvement of human, and then we transfer the process function, and then we transfer the transmission, and then we transfer the energy source, and then we transfer the control system, and then lastly, we transfer the decision making. This kind of transition have been developed by Altshuler, okay, since World War II, okay. I take this kind of concept and try to impose in our production line, okay. And then we learn about the function of process, okay. So the productive function, the providing function, the corrective function, and the harmful function. So when we look into the process in the functionality kind of perspective, we can see there is more innovation can be introduced, okay. This could be similar to value stream mapping. This could be similar to muda muri or waste management, okay. So this is somehow familiar, but in the innovation perspective. Then I realized that this is aligned with the industry 4.0, okay. So we have our teacher here, my teacher, Dr. Mi Jong Song, Vice President of Samsung Electronic, coming to Malaysia and show how does she use this tool for product development, okay. So I learned a lot from her, and I tried to adopt this kind of tool into a process development, okay. So our company acquire like 14 robots, 20 robots in 2013, and 15 robots in 2017 robot in 2015. Okay, so we try to do the transition according to the trend. Okay, this is one of the example in our previous organization. Okay. So this is what you call we so-called move from what you call high labor manpower into this level. Okay, so this is one of the outcome. Okay, we have a robot man in the site handling 10 to 15 robots, and the qualification is actually just diploma. Okay, so we empowered people and try to upscale their level of skill and also company automation level. Okay, so we do a lot of improvement. Okay, we use this kind of trend to improve the barcode system, the autonomous, the semi-autonomous, full autonomous conveyor. We have AGV. We improve our Kanban system, e-Kanban, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is on quality inspection, CMM. We have automatic what you call control. We have dashboard, electronic dashboard. All is moving towards this kind of trend. Okay, so and we go beyond. We share to our vendors. Okay, we share to our what you call suppliers. Okay, so we show from scratch. We show from the beginning of value chain until the complete product. How does this transformation, okay, using the trend, able to improve the company performance? So this is what you call activity that we have share with other people. Okay, how to improve our quality innovation and go beyond the boundaries of traditional quality control, quality optimization. Okay, and then we continue this kind of activities, and we are pushing towards a national level. Okay, so I developed a manuscript called Standard and Guideline for Malaysia Fourth Industrial Revolution, and it will be getting attention by the government, and they invite us to develop a policy for the country. Okay, so this is our first workshop, and we become a think tank for the government to develop a policy in Industry 4.0. So the fundamental of this Industry 4.0 policy is trees. Okay, so this is what we want to share with you. Okay, okay. So okay, so finally we developed this kind of what they call it, industry forward readiness assessment. Okay, so it helps industry in Malaysia to assess themselves what will be their level in terms of what you call industry 4.0 in the perspective of technology, process, and people. So do you remember that the slide I show you from the full human involvement, and then they start transmission, energy source, and so on and so forth. So the transition of towards full automation is is the foundation of this kind of readiness assessment. Okay, so this is some video from our government on industry forward. Okay. Okay, you can see me as a background person. Okay, so I will pause a bit. Okay, and continue back. Okay. So yeah, from there we are become advisor for government, and from there actually it been trigger us to develop our spin-off. Okay, because the backbone of this readiness assessment launched by the government to become a national policy have been been using our research our knowledge, which is coming from trees. Okay, so this is how I develop our spin-off. Then our company name also Sustainable Industrial Revolution and Innovation. A part of this supporting national what do you call industry forward program. Okay, and then from there we are duplicating what we have done in Proton. We try to support other industry. Okay, so this is one of the CTRM is a big composite manufacturer, aeroplane component. They are hiring us as a consultant, and they able to reduce costs from our program is about 4.8 million cost reduction per program. This is the total program. So it's coming from technical and non-technical what do you call initiative. Okay, so and then I'm come back when I left Proton. I've been invited back as a consultant to support the company again. Okay, to develop a what do you call policy level improvement, how to transform the company to the higher level. Okay, on the industry 4.0. Other organization, UMW, also try to use our concept or our research for HSE, okay, safety. So we are very active in engaging a lot of government agency, developing white papers, human resource, okay, how to develop human talent using the trees approach. Okay, so we don't want industry 4.0 allow people to become jobless. We need to ensure that after we improve the level of industry 4.0, it will impact a lot of job opportunity. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, so we also go to the state level. Okay, education. Okay, we go to Ministry of Education. In our organization, also in UTM, we have internal support. We involve a lot of organization, industry, association, ministry. Okay, we engage a lot of industry. Okay, most of them have achieved success story, and we also have failure story. Okay, so the failure story comes because they don't follow the advice we giving them. Okay, so they are stuck and don't make a decision, so they are not moving forward, and they are not going okay, what do you call, go with the bandwagon of industry forward with a strategic approach. Okay, so this is some collaboration we achieved, okay, so far under our company, and also our collaboration with other industry and academic. Okay, okay, we need to I think the keyword to be passionate. Okay, so currently I've been appointed as industrial relation manager, so we need have a lot of engagement, not just with academic level, but also industry and also government level. Okay, so we engage with Japanese government. Okay, we going up another level. We have society 5.0. Okay, so how to introduce what do you call society 5.0 in Malaysia using the concept of Japan. Okay, and then we try to introduce trees as a national innovation standard. Okay, we have SIRIM 8, SIRIM 8 as a document that introduce trees as a part of ISO. Okay, it's similar to ISO. Okay, and then we have a lot of support developing a new research, society 5.0, and then we try to introduce trees in education. Okay, so we try to be a part of Malaysia education blueprint, a part of a curriculum standard. Okay, so we successfully published TRIS in national education textbook. Okay, so in Form 2 secondary school, chapter 1 in this book, okay, chapter 1 is TRIS. So can you imagine that the whole country, such as India, okay, secondary school, Form 2, learn TRIS. So this is a very successful achievement for me and my team, okay, introducing TRIS at national level, okay. So in Form 3, okay, we have TRIS in chapter 3. So I become the author of this books, okay. And then okay, so there is a lot of video I want to show you guys, okay, but I will skip this. Okay, so we teach kids also on TRIS, okay, and some of them won National Innovation Champion Award, okay. I think I've run out of time, okay, to show you more about it, okay. So we all also teach TRIS in degree, SPM, PhD, okay. Capstone, okay, we have a capstone program. We have competition in Malaysia, and that introduced TRIS as a part of the tool for universities. Okay. I think we run out of time. I think I will skip this. Okay, talking about TRIS and commercialization. Okay, I think that's all for my session. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I will hand over back to our chairman. Sorry.
Wankade sir.
Yes, sir. Thank
Please,
you, Dr. Zulhasni. You have given a wonderful session, and there were so many things which were really taken up, like brainstorming and all, how these are different from TRIS, and you have very lucid way explained it, how TRIS is better than that, and how some insight of technology or science or some methodology will always help us out in reducing the time and not moving just haywire in the nothing. And you have also explained nicely like what is DFSS and its comparison with TRIS, and most important, patent circumvention you have touched upon. Definitely the time was a major factor, and you won't be able to cover so many things. But one more thing which you covered, that you have been doing so many things in Malaysia, and right from schoolings up to the industry everywhere, and even in the standards of like national standards there, and TRIS is there. So it is very important thing that TRIS is going long way, and I appreciate your statement that if we need to succeed, we need to move on. We need to move on with newer technology and better methodologies. You are really an international figure. You are known everyone in this world, plus in Malaysia obviously, and now in Japan also, and obviously now people know you in India. So I'll quickly take upon the question and answer, because we have already run over the time, and there is a question like how we can go for TRIS certifications. So I would suggest that you can go on the TRIS Asia website. It is quite simple, www.trisasia.com, and you can find out all the details of certifications. So there is one more question: can we use it in embedded system, right? So Dr. Zul, would you like to answer this question? And I too have Mr. P.V. Narayan, and he may also help us out in giving some answers. Can you unmute?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Zulhasni, Industry 4.0 is a hot topic, and you have done so much of work in that. So how it would be helpful? The TRIS would be helpful if you can explain in brief.
Okay, so actually we are using TRIS concept in helping us to develop foresight. Okay, so when we have foresight, we know what's coming up next. Okay, so when we know what is coming up next, we will grab the opportunity because the technology evolve. Okay, what is next after smartphone? Okay, so if any one of you have the capability, have the knowledge, have the what you call wisdom in knowing what is next after smartphone, you will grab the opportunity, you will develop that product, and you become the next what you call Samsung, the next Google, the next iPhone. Okay, so this foresight is not much coming from any other tool except trees. So when knowing what is future is good for your development of new products, then it will be benefited for your strategic planning or what's not. So that's why I use trend of evolution system engineering in my industry 4.0 research. So that is my recommendation.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Zul. Then there is one more question by Dr. S.B. Kulkarni from Shahu College of Engineering, Aurangabad. Sir, I would say that giving this answer over here would be difficult, like how we can do. There are so many things, and Dr. Zul has also shown it in one of the slides. Definitely, you can contact 3sasia.com and we'll get back to you. And definitely, we can connect you to all the people who are along with us practicing TRIZ at an international level. And we'll share the details of Dr. Zolasni also with you. So any other specific question, I am not just able to find out. So one embedded system, yeah, I can answer like, see, definitely we can use it. And there is no field, right? Dr. Zul, there is no field which is left from TRIZ. We can use it right from social causes up to agriculture, up to medical science and everywhere.
Okay, actually, we need to know that trees is a tool. Okay, it's like a hammer. Okay, so it means that it only able to perform a certain activities which is previously is not really focused on. Okay, so we talk about generating ideas. Okay, we talk about developing a systematic or structured way. Okay, or algorithm. Okay, so this tool, we call it known as trees, is rarely known by public. Okay, so this is a very good initiative done by Trees Asia and also AISSMS, and try to bring trees into their spotlight. Okay, so we need to know that trees is a thinking tool that very good and very effective until what do you call Samsung, Hyundai, POSCO, IBM, DARPA, all these big, huge GE, all these big, huge company take this tool and use it for innovation. Okay, use it for innovation. So you can Google, you can see why this huge company interested to take up trees and how it is not really spelled out in detail. That's why you need us. Okay, you need this expert like me and also Tris Asia, and how to assist you, how to make it happen, how to make it success. Okay, and how to use this so-called tool effectively. Because we cannot use one tool to fit all kind of issue or to solve any kind of problem, but Tris able to give significant impact to the technology development and so on and so forth. So this is my recommendation to you.
Dr. Sandeep.
Yeah.
Can you ask Narayan sir to say a few word and Boromani sir?
Yeah, in fact, there's one question, sir, coming. In fact, I will want Dr. Hasni to just throw some light on it. There's a question which says that is that possible to apply TRIZ for academic improvement? We know the answer is yes, but probably since you have already implemented TRIZ in a lot of secondary schools and educational institutions in Malaysia, can you just share with us your experience in a very high level before and after?
Okay, so I think the key part that we introduce TRIZ to education is the thinking mechanism. Okay, So in Malaysia, we doesn't expose our kids.
There is some audio problem, Dr. Narayanan.
Okay, so you can hear me right? Is it okay? So we try to introduce trees to education because we want to expose the younger generation how to think better. Okay, so we introduce trees for problem solving. Because in kindergarten, in primary school, in secondary school, even in university, we introduce our student uh, exam-based assessment. So it is right or wrong, A, B, C, D, E. So we grade this student. We doesn't inculcate the skill for the student to think innovation, to think creatively. Okay, so that is why we introduce trees. Because when you jump into industry, there is no more exam. Okay, there is a problem solving, and your problem solving based on the existing resources. In industry, my first experience, theoretical world, ideal world. But in the real world, it doesn't work. Okay, that's why trees is very close to me. Okay, that is why we are introducing trees for engineers to think, for school kids to think about how to work in the complex problem solving. Because in future, they will use this kind of skill. So that is one. Another way of using, I have tomorrow, I will be interviewed by some European researcher how to use trees to do research. Okay, how to use trees concept to do literature review, to find novelty in your research, how to do a study to find the best research methodology for your research. There is also another interesting way to use the concept of trees in your research. So that is my share today.
Thank you, Doctor.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Sandeep, please go ahead.
And there was one more question by Mr. Tejas Toro, I suppose, but with this answer, I suppose most of his queries would be sorted out, because definitely his question was whether we can change the culture of an industry and mindset of a human being. So definitely trees will be useful, and you have given very lucid example on how you have implemented in right from school level. So looking at the time constraint, there are some quick questions. Let me take it up.
Sandeep, we are running out of time. Another speaker is waiting.
Yeah, exactly. So
Later.
now, okay. So now I request Dr. Bormane sir to just put the principal's remark.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Dr. Zulasni.
Good afternoon.
I really personally, and on behalf of my organization and society, and on behalf of all participants, thank you for your this presentation. It's a nice presentation. We teaching fraternity, really finding something attractive in the streets, and definitely we'll see that in future. We'll incorporate these streets as a tool, as a concept, and definitely it will help for a better quality teaching learning process, and we'll come to you later on if required, and fortunately we are also associated with these streets. So thank you once again for sparing your valuable time and giving a good insight on this new concept and new trees as a tool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Over to
Chaitanya, sir.
Okay.
Chaitanya, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Now we are coming to the end of the session, and I propose vote of thanks as behalf of Dr. D.S. Bormane, sir, Principal AISSMS College of Engineering and Management. We are thankful to you for your resourceful and active talk on the trees. The important aspects of trees, case studies, videos, and the presentation which you have given us was very much informative to us. They have highlighted about how to use the trees in the academics. Your sharing of 11-year experience in automotive companies for handling the automotive projects to maintain the quality. Your strategic innovation, Kaikoku, as well as the boundaries which you have explained beyond about use of trees to process development, trees to decrease the human involvement, functional process flow analysis, big data, cloud analytics. All these are really informative and useful to practice in our future aspects. Your contribution for the industry forward readiness assessment is also the great inspiration to start the learning and practice the trees in our day-to-day practice. This will help us participants to include in our regular development activity. We offer our sincere thanks to you, sir, and appreciate your time for sharing with us to support this faculty development program. Thank you very much. I also thankful to Dr. P.V. Narayan sir for his presence and contribution in the question answer session. And also thankful to Dr. Sandeep Wankhede for making available us such a wonderful person as a speaker to the FPP. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now the next section will start immediately, so there will not be break.
चौधरी सर, चाकणे सर जॉईन झालेत.
नमस्कार सर.
नमस्कार सर, वेलकम.
थँक्यू. कसे आहात
सर? छान. बालके सर कोण कोऑर्डिनेट करते?
चौधरी सर.
चौधरी सर.
चौधरी सर प्लीज.
सर तुमची स्लाइड शेअर करता का चाकणे सर?
करू का लगेच?
हो.
येस सर, येस.
स्लाइड त्यांना शेअर करायची का? झाले का?
येस सर.
झालेत का?
येस सर, येस.
ओके.
हां, चौधरी सर प्लीज.
यस सर, यस सर. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Principal Dr. D.S. Bormane sir, Dr. Sanjay Chakne, and all the participants. I, C.S. Chaudhary, welcome you all to this second session on the fourth day of Faculty Development Program on promoting quality culture in technical institutions, organized by AISSMS College of Engineering, Pune. Topic for this session is community engagement in higher and technical institutions. And speaker for this session is Dr. Sanjay Chakne, who is principal at Arts, Science and Commerce College, Indapur, Maharashtra. He is also Management Council member for Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune. And also he is member of Senate, SPPU, Pune. To introduce Dr. Chakne, Dr. Chakne is an academician, researcher, and administrator with total experience of 36 years. Major professional responsibilities he has handled till date are in charge principal at BJS College, Pune. He was program coordinator for National Service Scheme, NSS, at Savitribai Phule Pune University. He was NSS program coordinator for about 7 years, from 2003 to 2010. He was also director for Disaster Management Cell at SPPU Pune for 5 years. To talk about the research contribution of Dr. Chakne, Dr. Chakne has successfully completed 16 funded research projects in the area of physics, for which he has received grants more than 48 lakhs from BCUD, DST, ISRO, MEDA, Government of Maharashtra, etc. Total 5 students have completed PhD research work under his supervision, and 8 students are pursuing their PhD research under his guidance. For various academic and administrative activities, he has visited the various foreign countries like Australia, Japan, France, Switzerland, Austria, Italy, Israel, Germany, Sweden, USA. Talking about publications, total 21 books, 106 research papers, and more than 400 articles he has published at national and international levels. To mention few recognitions, awards received by Dr. Chakne are Best NSS Program Officer Award by Government of Maharashtra in 98, Best Teacher Award by Rajiv Gandhi Foundation in 1999, and Best Teacher Award by Asmita Foundation in 2000, Best Ferguson's Award in Education in 2007. He was nominated for Indira Gandhi Best Program Coordinator Award at national level in 2008. Rajiv Gandhi Education Excellence Award by IIEM in 2013. Then Innovative Principal Award by CEDA in 2014. State level Gunijan Gaurav Puraskar in 2017. And Best Principal Award by Savitribai Phule Pune University. So I welcome you, sir, and request you to share your views. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Chaudhary. Professor Principal Bormane, my best friend, Dr. Chaudhary Chandrasekhar, Dr. Bhalke, and other panelists, and all my participant friends. Actually, today's topic is community engagement. To understand these two words, community and engagement, as Professor Chaudhary just now mentioned about my NSS work, I worked a lot at Savitribai Phule Pune University as NSS program coordinator and implemented different activities. Actually, from there only, we started one term which was known as Samarth Bharat Abhiyan. The then Vice Chancellor, Dr. Narendra Jadhav, was Vice Chancellor, and we were working under him. Then this was, this Samarth Bharat Abhiyan was, the propaganda was such that Dr. Manmohan Singh nominated Dr. Narendra Jadhav as Planning Commission member, and we were working in Planning Commission. That time, I was one of the team member, and we suggested community engagement to UGC, University Grants Commission. And from there, this community engagement is been established, and this is now been recognized by NAC. Of course, it is recognized by all apex bodies of pan-India. So now, let us go to topic. The topic is community engagement. Let us understand these two words. So the word is community. So let us understand what is community. Community in toto. What are the characteristics of community may be stated as under. For example, we say our community, my community. So grouping of people is a community. A delimited geographical area or locality is termed as community. A common culture and a social system which organizes their activity is also known as community. In other words, in our area, what we call community of that particular religion, community of caste, community of creed, or community of particular people. We keep on saying that ours is a student community, ours is a teachers community. In teachers community, again, we differentiate as grantable teachers, non-grantable teachers, permanently grantable teachers. Then we can say our principals community likewise. So culture wise or the social system wise, we have different communities. Consciousness among the members about their unity and a sense of belongingness. Sense of belongingness is very important. Most of the time, we keep on saying my feelings, I feel that. But when the concept of feeling we the we feeling comes, then it becomes a community. So to understand community better, that feeling concept is very important, that we should come together. So the another definition of community is acting collectively is in an organized manner. Community is never haphazard. Community is never in a zigzag fashion. Community is always organized. It is well organized. May not be in paper, may not be on paper, but most of the time, community is organized, maybe theoretical. Let it be, but it must be organized structure. A division of labor into specialized and interdependent function. That should be very clear. So now the another word which I mentioned is engagement. What do you mean by engagement? An arrangement, this is a typical dictionary meaning. Maybe you can say Chatur style of a definition. When I say Chatur, Chatur refers to 3 Idiot. So engagement is an arrangement to do something or go somewhere at a fixed rate, fixed time. Engagement means that the individual understands the purpose of the initiative, develops a sense of ownership, commits to the process and the outcomes, and works towards achieving success is an engagement. Engagement is coming together, and there should be bond between the members of the community. If there is no bond, then the community, there is always a fear of splitting community, and this is the reason engagement word is very important. Now let us combine these two words together, so it becomes community engagement. So community engagement involves interaction between identified groups of people, and it also involves processes that are linked to problem solving or decision making, where community input is used to make better decisions. So community engagement is also involvement and participation in an organization for the welfare of the community. This is very important, that whenever I say community engagement, it is always for the benefit of the community. It is always for the welfare of the community. In NSS, in National Service Scheme, we always keep on saying that whatever we learn in the campus, that should be treated towards community. So that I should bring. So whatever learning happened in the campus should be inculcated in the minds of community wherever I'm working. And that bridging that gap, because we keep on saying that the educational institutes and the community, there is a big gap now. There is a big valley. To bridge this gap, we need community engagement. Because if we not engage these two things, we will be again separated, and that separation is never again will be coming together. So community centered orientation should be there. When I say that bridging this gap, whenever I want to bridge the gap, this community centered orientation should be there. So if I teach student in a classroom of a particular subject, that subject should be oriented towards community center. For example, if I'm teaching, for example, physics, then what is use of my physics knowledge which I'm giving to students for the betterment of the society? If it is not useful, then student will keep on asking me, what you are teaching, professor? You are teaching me quantum mechanics, and what is the use of quantum mechanics in my day-to-day life or wherever I'm going in the community? So if I could explain him the meaning of whatever I'm teaching to him, rather whatever he learns or she learns, that will be very important. So community-centered orientation of teachers and students should be there. So now, if I treat community engagement, then there should be some opportunities. So what are the opportunities in community engagement? To increase the likelihood that projects or solutions will be widely accepted. It should not happen that if I'm working for one community and there should be replica of the project. If I can't replicate, then that project will vanish there only. This is the reason it should be widely accepted everywhere. Create more effective solution. One problem may have different solutions. So we keep on saying in Sanskrit, pinde pinde matir bhinya. When I say, if I give a problem to teachers or students, there can be different solutions. Of course, problem must be well designed. Our problem is we cannot design our own problem. When I say improve citizens' knowledge and skills in problem solving, there should be designed problem. So problem is to be well defined. For example, I'll give one joke kind of an example. Say one teacher gave a problem to students. The question to the student, it was a very simple question. The question was, why Bapu was jailed? Bapu was put into jail. Why? Answer given by the student was, Bapu was jailed because he made rape on the girl, on one of the girl. So what happened here? The teacher was expecting Bapu was jailed. Bapu means Mahatma Gandhi. Whereas the student understood that Asaramba. So I have to understand Bapu ko jail kyun hui thi? Kyunki Bapu ne balatkar kiya tha. That is what student answered. So now this problem should not have 2-3 meanings. So when I say I should put a problem in a very effective manner, so designing a problem is a task actually. We always feel that asking question is nothing, but no, it's not like that. Because if I understood the community, then only I can understand their problems. If I understand their problems, then only I can put those problems in front of students' community, and then only they can solve. If I'm indirectly saying that higher educational institutes are now involved, and when they are to be involved, they should understand the problems. The next one is empower and integrate people from different backgrounds. Now we have to empower the people who are in the community. People in the community may not have same background. So we should bring them to a particular level. They should bring to one platform, and then it will be possible for us to empower. And of course, there should be integrity. Create local network of community members. There should be communication among themselves of the community. When I design a community, then there should be some network. It should be local network. It should not be hi-fi. I should not say that I have put a satellite network to all the members. It is not possible. So this is the reason I am saying that it should be local network. So local network of local communication, it may not be digital. It may be verbal, that if I'm giving one message to one of the leader, that leader can pass on to his sub leaders, and all the stakeholders will be communicated whatever message I want to pass on. So this is the reason creating local network in the community members is important. Create several opportunities for discussing concerns. So there should be opportunity among themselves so that they can discuss among themselves. To involve people, discussion is always important. Otherwise, it becomes a one-way communication. And one-way communication feels towards dictatorship, and the community never comes up. This is the reason that there is always a discussion issue. So the best examples are Hivre Bazar by Popatrao Pawar, who received Padma Shri Award recently. And the other one is Anna Hazare's Rayagan Siddhi, who has Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. So because they could do community engagement in a better manner, because there were discussions every day in the evenings. Those evening meetings, those Saudi meetings, Saudi in Marathi we call it at Saudi, those Saudi meetings are very important for this one. To increase trust in community organization and governance, that should be there. So now, what is meaningful community engagement? So meaningful community engagement, there are 7 strategies. 1 minute, please. So what are different strategies for a meaningful community engagement? One is the plain language. There, if I go to community and start speaking in English or some vernacular language, so they will not understand it, and they will they will throw me out from their community. So whatever language they are saying, if I'm in Konkan, I should speak Konkani. If I'm in Khandesh, I should speak Airani. If I'm in Vidarbha, I should at least speak Warhadi or likewise. So of course, I'm giving examples of Maharashtra. But if I'm in Madhya Pradesh and I'm speaking Marathi, they will not understand. So plain language, rather, their own language should be the language of communication. Information sharing. So whatever information I have or whatever information the members have, they should share that information to each other so that the community bond will be increased, rather community engagement will be done very nicely. Transparency. So especially in account, if I'm dealing with some sort of money or the finance part, of course, in all, whatever decisions I am taking, as I discussed, there should be discussions that whatever decision I'm taking, you may take decisions little late, but once taken decision should be firm. And this is the reason transparency should be there. Dialogue. There should be dialogue, not one way, but two way. So from lower side to upper side and upper side to lower side, when we keep on saying about hierarchy, then I should say that there should be dialogue in all. It should not be only one way from down to up and up to down, but it is horizontal, vertical, and diagonal, all angles. So dialogue should be there. Rather, in simple words, I should say that each member of the community has equal and equal rights, rather equal opportunities to speak, and this is the reason there should be dialogue. Attitude and behavior. So my attitude, of course, attitude in Marathi we keep on saying ki खूप attitude दाखवतोयस. So when I say attitude, attitude means my attitude should match with the people who are involved in community. So their attitude should be equal. My behavior should be, if all of them are sitting on ground, I should sit on ground. If I keep on asking them that I want chair, I want a very good chair, then my attitude will be little different, and they will not feel that this person is from my community. So active listening. We, the teachers, have normally the attitude of not listening to people, but we should have. Of course, it is not always there. I'm giving a few examples that people don't want to listen. So when I say active listening, I, as a communicator, I must be very good listener. If I listen their problems, then solving those problems will be easy for me. Of course, this will come when I say public relations. When I go to the community and ask their problems, for example, if I start giving them solution, then they will not feel that this is my problem. So problem raised by them and solution should be adopted by them. Solution should be there. So if I listen them actively, and then I can understand the solution from their list, their talk, then only that solution, they will feel that it is their solution. And of course, as I mentioned, there should be public relations. So relationship building. So PR is very important when I talk about community engagement, because public relations, now in this era of social networking, we are missing somewhere public relations. So relationship, each and every part, every stakeholder in the community should have all established relations, and we should try to build that equal opportunity relations. And this is the reason. So these are meaningful community engagement. I hope you understand what I'm saying about meaningful community engagement. So there are 9-step model of community engagement. This is very important to understand that there are different models. So these are, this is one model in 9 steps. So let us understand them one by one. Step 1 is reflect and strategize. So reflect, if I understand what they are saying, and if they are putting some problem, then I should reflect and ask them that what should be the strategy. For example, I'm going in a community where there should be, there may be there is some river, and they are going to face the the problem of heavy floods. I mean, the heavy water rainfall is there and whatever. So in month of May, normally people start feeling that in June, they may have heavy flood in the river and there can be a problem. So this is a problem of disaster management. So what should be the strategy? So they are putting the problem and I'm asking them that what should be the solution? So they may say that these are the solution. We should get transferred for 1 kilometer away from where we are staying. Likewise, if I say, so this is a strategy. So strategy designed by them, strategy put forth by them, and I'm just reflecting on it and I'm just giving yes to them so that they will understand, yes, this is my problem and yes, this is the solution which I have given to them. So what is the next step? Step 2 is identify and engage stakeholders. So we have to first identify stakeholders. So there can be hierarchy, as I mentioned. There should be some person who can be secretary. There can be some person who will be given presidential or chairmanship. So there can be vice chairman. There can be treasurer or something. Of course, naming is easy, but identifying a person who will work for it is very important. So identifying a team leader. So building a team is for and engaging them as a stakeholder is very important. Now there should be definition of the community. So define the community means what? So we have brought community together, and this community, for what sense they are going to work. So there are different communities for social aspects. So, but for example, Alpa Bachat Gat, so they have their own motto, they have their own agenda, and accordingly they work. So if I have a college, I'm working in a college, and I have I adopted one village. So in a village, I cannot take a whole village as a community. So a group of people, bringing them together. For example, there are people who are doing fishermanship. So I'm giving an example from Indapur, because we are Indapur is located 140 kilometers away from Pune, and it is on the bank of Bhima River where Ujni Dam has been constructed. So there are many fishermen. So in a village, there is a fisherman community. When I'm saying fisherman, I'm not asking them about their caste and creed or the religion. What I'm asking them is, they all are doing fishermanship job. So I have a community who are all fishermen. So so all of them are coming together. This is the way I have defined the community. Collect and analyze the data. So collecting data means what? So what are their problems? So I will do a survey. Normally this survey is socio-economic health survey. So socio-economic health survey means, so what are the social aspects? What is their level? I mean the financial level. So socio-economic and health, what are their health issues? Because as I say, I'm giving an example of Ujni Dam. When I'm giving Ujni Dam example means there are certain issues, because there are some companies like Sinarmas is there, or the Bills Graphic is there, or the Padamji paper mill is there. These paper mills are there, and they are, or the whole catchment area of Ujni is something like 17 rivers, and they are bringing the whole thing in Ujni Dam, and it has been dumped. Or the whole west of Pune city, where 50 lakh people are sitting there, and they are putting tons of wastage every day, and that is been collected in Ujni Dam. When I'm saying wastage, and that too, there are no ETPs. I mean, there are very few effluent treatment plants. For sake of yes, it is yes, but for environmental issues, there are no ETPs available, and this is the reason. There are certain issues like heavy metals are being imparted. They are being incorporated in the Ujni Dam, and these fishermen have their own problems. For example, under their lakes, so at lakeside, they have certain issues. For example, they have skin diseases, even the skin cancers. We have done this survey, and we realized that there are tremendous problems. So understanding those so I collected the data. So there are health issues. So now I have understood socio-economic and health things. Now I have to analyze the data. So this is what the step 4 is. Now the next step is step 5. So priority is community health issues. As I mentioned, health, because if health is good, then wealth can be achieved. But if the health is not good, why we talk about wealth? As in the lockdown period, we have understood that life is important. Nothing is important than life. We all have realized we can stay in home for months together, and we don't need hi-fi things. We don't want to go to beauty parlor. Even we are not going to barber shop. We are not going for doing hotel. We are not going in the hotels, and we don't bring anything. There is no need of Swiggy or whatever. So we have understood the health issues now. So we have to prioritize community health issues. The next step is, the sixth step is document and communicate results. We are very bad in documentation. We, the Indians, are very bad in documentation. We ask, as we all are working in higher educational institutes, we have understood that if I ask someone that give this data to me, he will say, oh, I don't have PC or whatever. There are 1,000 reasons not to work, and people will not document. They don't want to document themselves. They don't want to document their own things. Of course, I'm not criticizing everything, but trying to understand, trying to give a focus on, we are bad in documentation. Documentation is one part. Another part is communicating results. So whatever I have done survey, what to do with these surveys? Have we communicated to officials? The government officials? What that government official has done with those communications which I have documented and given to him. But this is just like, if I want to give an example of NSS camp, every year we go to some village, we stay there for 7 days, we document something, we give it to BDO, but what BDO does? Nothing. So those papers becomes raddi for him. And this is the reason that communication of result is very important. So publication is very important in each part of this. So now the next is planning implementation strategies. I have communicated the results, but I have to work further that how to plan the strategies. If I plan my strategies, I have to, implementation strategies means what? The workable solutions. I cannot, it's not, it's not like a very big science. It is just, when I go to village, I can understand those problems which I can solve. So it's not missile technique everywhere. I have to just plan which I can implement, because the next step which I'm going to talk is very important, which is implement strategies. We are very good when sitting in ivory towers. When I want to sit in my classroom, in my room, my office, in an AC room, and say, I want to tell people that you do it, it's very easy to tell. But if I say that I want to work on this, then implementation is the issue. We are very bad implementers. We can put thousands of ideas. Putting idea is maybe easy sometimes, but implementing idea is very difficult, because where we have to work actually. And this is the reason implementation is very important. We always say in Marathi की आपण खूप आरंभशूर असतो. आरंभशूर म्हणजे सुरुवात खूप धडाक्यात करतो, पण आपण काम जेव्हा करतो तेव्हा ते नीट करता येत नाही. बाबा आमटे नेहमी म्हणायचे की कुठलीही गोष्ट भान ठेवून आखायची असते, भान ठेवून आखायची असते, इम्प्लिमेंटेशन प्लॅन स्ट्रॅटेजीज, आणि बेभान होऊन राबवायची असते इम्प्लिमेंट स्ट्रॅटेजीज. एकदा का भान ठेवून आपण एखादी गोष्ट राबवली, एखादी गोष्ट मांडली, की ती बेभान होऊन राबवताना मजा येते. So that is what the 8th step is. The 9th step is evaluate the process. So whatever from step 1 to step 9 I have done, I have to evaluate at which stage, because I want some results. So this is everywhere nowadays we keep on saying that this is a result oriented technology. So I want results. So if I don't get result, where I went, where the things were wrong. So maybe at step 3, or maybe at step 7, or maybe my first step was wrong, or whatever communicated was wrong, whatever implemented was wrong. So whatever. So I have to evaluate. And once I evaluate the process, then I can rethink. And again, I start from step 1. And when I get the results, then step 9 will be the best thing. So this is what 9-step model is. So now coming to the main topic. The main topic is role of higher educational institutes in community engagement. We all are facing NAC nowadays after every 5 years. And there are many questions. There are many points in all 7 criteria that we have to talk about institutional social responsibilities. When I say institutional social responsibility, I have to think of stakeholders' responsibility. So each stakeholder, right from Pune to the president of institute, right from professors to, Pune to assistant, associate professors, and then principal of the college and the president of the college. So each stakeholder of the institute must have their own social responsibilities. Most of the time, when people are working for NSS, people keep on saying that it is your job. And the other people, they don't allow their student to go for even NSS camps. So they have not understood social responsibility. If somebody is saying that I'm engineer or I'm master's in science, in physics, and he doesn't know, because many times there is a big gap that MSc physics student even cannot put light, the tube light. And if the mother says that, why don't you put that tube light? He says, I was never taught in my classroom. I know how to calculate energy audit and whatnot, these big words. But these simple things, rather, ज्याला आपण जीवनावश्यक कौशल्य असं म्हणतो, skills which are important for life are very important. So each stakeholder, even the students, they should understand social responsibilities of they should understand their own social responsibilities. So now, higher educational institutes should engage community through various practices with the help of students. So now, how to do this? So the next thing will be what are the steps which we will be implementing for community engagement. So the last step is scope of higher educational institute in community engagement. There should be scope. There is already a scope. So now, best practices, which I would like to give few examples of Indapur College. We normally call it as I College. I stand for Indapur. I just want to give brief glimpses of our college. So I is what I stand for Indapur, as I say. We commonly commonly call this college as I College. I stands for indigenous. I stands for inspiration. I stands for imagination. I stands for intelligence. I stands for innovation, and I stands for inspiration. So these are 5 I's. We were on 5 different I's. So as I mentioned that different practices are there. As I mentioned, each stakeholder should be involved in community engagement. Likewise, each department must be involved in community engagement. So now we have different departments. As this is typical arts, science, and commerce college, I'll be giving examples, but which can be which can be a replica of for other colleges also. If I say one department, then what that department can do in community, rather in village, is very important. Actually, we are working for Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. This is a scheme which Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is a scheme by HRD Ministry. If you go to HRD Ministry, Human and Resource Development Ministry, then there is one line named as Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is very similar to Samartha Bharat Abhiyan, which we have implemented in the year 2005 to 2010. So now this Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, if you want to implement in your college, you can implement. You get a lot of grants for this. Initially, you can get rupees 50,000, and then of course this grant can go up to crores. Now I'm very happy to share with you that Dr. Vijay Bhatkar recently taken over the charge as chairman of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. Unnat Bharat Abhiyan site can be seen on HRD Minister, as I mentioned. So now each department can be involved. Under Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, we have adopted 20 villages. So what to do in these 20 villages? So each department is involved. Of course, each department is not involved in all villages, but few departments in few villages, but there are departments who are involved in all 20 villages. So now I'll give one example. For example, water, soil and milk testing. So Department of Chemistry organizes this activity. They collect sample of water, soil and milk from nearby those 20 villages through students. So most of the students are from those villages. So they bring these samples, and of course, water testing is done at we are Science and Technology recognized FIST College. So we have received a grant of 70 lakh rupees, and we have a very good central research laboratory. So we definitely can do these kind of sampling. And of course, as I mentioned, that water is very bad as we take Ujni water. You will not believe the TDS, total dissolving dissolved solids in that water is something like 1200, where we require, rather WHO says that the potable water, rather drinkable water, should have total TDS should be between 25 to 85, and this has 1200, which is very big. Sometimes it goes to 2000, 3000 in summer season when there is scarcity of water, and there is less water in the dam. And if we go to that water, it is not water actually, it is gutter of Pune, if I'm not saying wrong. So that water sample, I mean, these water samples are collected and water testing is done. Of course, water testing has tremendous scope. It's not only total dissolved solids, but the bioorganisms, rather the organisms which are involved, is to be done with zoology, microbiology, biotechnology people, microbiology people. Soil testing is of course done. You must be know our college laboratory is recognized by government as a soil testing laboratory, because you must be knowing about Pani Foundation. This is Amir Khan's initiative. Even the Nana Patekar and Nana Patekar's initiative. We have now NAM Foundation. That also they make compulsory to farmers that they should do soil testing, because after soil testing, people understand that which kind of crop I should take this year. This is the reason soil testing is done every month. We normally do 400 to 500 samples every month, and the results are given to the farmers. And milk testing is of course very important, as there is a big alteration in the milk, and that alteration we have to found, because there are people who put urea, the dalda and whatnot. अगदी प्राण्यांची चरबी टाकण्यापर्यंत भेसळ दुधामध्ये असते. सो वी शुड अंडरस्टँड दॅट व्हॉट काइंड ऑफ म्हणजे कसली भेसळ त्याच्यामध्ये आहे हे आपल्याला ओळखता आलं पाहिजे. सो ऑफकोर्स students are involved in doing analysis of samples. We have you must all have done qualitative analysis from 11th standard to master's degree. They do qualitative analysis. Instead of doing qualitative analysis of samples which we give them, we normally what do we do is we take 2-3 salts together, we mix them very thoroughly and give as a sample, and we ask them to detect metals or something. So what are the ions, and the content is been I mean they keep on doing contents. Instead of that, can we give a sample of soil so that people will do soil sampling, and it will be directly useful to his own farming. So rather, if he's I mean he is from the most of the students from rural area are from the farmer's family, and if they are coming from the farmer's family and they are doing some sampling, then their parents will be very happy that my child is doing something for my own things. So this is what chemistry department is doing. So now next is my own department. I'm a physicist, I'm a student of physics. So we keep on doing energy survey and energy audit of villages. So Department of Physics organizes this activity. The students are trained, and these trained students go to the villages, carry out energy survey. Doing energy survey is very easy. Go to any house and keep on measuring how many bulbs are there, how many tube lights are there, what are the wattages, then how many fans and fridge and whatnot. So what are the appliances, electronic and electrical appliances they should understand. So they take data of bulbs, tube lights, all electronic and electrical instruments which are there in the house, so that he can calculate. Actually, we at first year level, we keep on telling students, rather there are always problem solving for them, that how much, if in a room there are two tube lights, one light, and one fan and one AC, and the wattages are like this, then how much is the consumption of electricity. Students are very smart in doing this problem, but when they go to actual practice, when they go to village and in a house, then if start calculating them, their results are not matching with what they do as a theory, because they have to consider different things. So this is what energy survey is. And then ultimately they do energy audit of a village. Of course, they do an energy audit of a particular house first, and then the village as a whole. Of course, we have done this energy audit of a college first, and now I don't, as principal of the college, I never tell students nowadays that please put on lights off or shut fans off, because they have done the survey, and every day there are students who keep on moving in a whole college and they put lights off, and they of course tell, even they train the peons of the college that you should keep lights off when not required. So likewise, so this is what energy audit is. So provide suggestions about energy consumption in a village as a whole. So that is what physics department has done. Now this is very important. Department of botany, department of zoology, and department of microbiology, these people came together. So these people, actually, this is intra departmental activity. Most of the time department have their own activity, but when I say interdisciplinary, it's very easy to tell interdisciplinary, but at implementation level interdisciplinary is very difficult. But this activity boosted our morale to do these activities. So when these departments came together, we trained these third year students who are special in botany, zoology, and microbiology. We trained them because to carry out flora and fauna of villages was not easy, because they have done a lot of surveys, because every year botany student goes to Mahabaleshwar or Sahyadri Ghats, and they bring the flora from there, and they do herbarium sheets and whatnot. But doing flora of our own village was a task for them. Of course, zoology people have done zooplankton, microbiology people have done microplankton, botany people have done phytoplankton. So doing phytoplankton is what? Just taking a slide, putting a droplet of a water, hanging it on that slide, the glass slide, and watching it through microscope. They can understand what are the microorganisms present. They can understand the bacteria, the microorganisms, the viruses. Of course, they have to do a lot of studies on it. The microbiology people also do microbiology people have done a very good survey in one of the village, that mapping of microorganisms of the village. For example, if there is a water pond, the nearby water pond, there are different microorganisms, whereas near the gutter of the village, there are different microorganisms. At Saudi, there are different microorganisms. So most of the time, these are E. coli. E. coli comes from the stool of human beings. So this way, and they can tell people that going outside for sanitation is very bad, and you should have your own toilet. So even microbiology people. So what is use of microbiology department? That they have is whatever they have studied in the classroom, they have taken it to, I mean, this is a laboratory to land experiment, lab to land experiment. These micro and zoology people, they went to villagers and they told them that you should have your own toilets. Instead of doing it by NSS, when the microbiology people, rather their own villagers, the students from that village, they told these people that you should have your own toilet, and they started building toilet, was the great achievement for us. That was the success of the story. So we have done flora and fauna of these villages. So students have taken data of plants, trees, animals. Of course, there are endangered species. Recently, we found that in one of the village, there is a plant named as Punarnava. Punarnava is a plant required by many people like Patanjali or Sri Ravi Shankar's. Those shops, they require Punarnava in a bad manner, and we support them that this is Punarnava. People don't know. I mean, the villagers don't know this is Punarnava and this is important medicinal plant. So, of course, I'm giving one example. There are many. So, endangered species are very important, and we have brought them here, and we have done tissue culture of these endangered species, and we are trying to boost those plants and trying to keep them engaged. I mean, keep them here in the. We have our own nursery where 2.5 lakh saplings are there, and of course, we devotedly give them to Pani Foundation freely, free of cost. All over Maharashtra, we distribute these saplings, and that too free of cost. So we have done biodiversity report of these villages. Of course, we have made few suggestions to environment and biodiversity to the forest people. So now the next department is GPS mapping of villages. GPS is global positioning system. We have our own GPS machines, and we have done GPS mapping. So of course, Department of Geography organizes this activity. Of course, students are to be trained. So trained students and teachers, of course, do handling of GPS. So these students who are trained go to village and take location. Of course, they do latitude and longitude, and of course, sea level. Height from sea level of that particular thing, and of course, they do physical and cultural components which are involved. Of course, I'll be showing one graph after this, so that you will understand that what GPS mapping we are doing. So village boundaries are taken, then the river or stream or wells, and so main monuments of that village are to be detected by GPS, and not only detected, but they are to be enmarked with the administrative map. We have Tehsils map everywhere, and those Tehsil maps are now digitized together, and these GPS mapping and that mapping is done together, so which is very important. So student analyze that locational data and make maps of various villages. Of course, these TYBSc TYBSc geography student, they have their practical about doing GIS mapping, but they have never done GIS mapping at villages, their own. I mean, आपण ज्याला मोजा म्हणतो की शेती मोजायला माणसं आणतो, पण त्याच्याऐवजी मग GIS नी जीपीएसच्या मदतीने आपल्याला करता येईल का? Yes, of course, these students do that kind of mapping. The next department is heritage. History department, Department of History. So Heritage Walk is one of the flagship program of our college. So this is best practice of Department of History. So local history writing is a task actually. These history students, they keep on learning history of French or history of China or history of Japan or history of America, but they never know history of their own village. So there are heritage sites always, and we bring them there. We take them there, students there, and allow society people, rather the community people, to participate and we started writing history. By now, we have written history of 135 villages of Indapur Tehsil. There are 145 villages. There are some issues in some villages where we cannot write history of those villages because there are some objections. So we have left those villages, but we have written history of these villages. And students are so engaged that they understand their own village. Rather, they have understood. There are students who have started writing history of their own family, which was never done. So this way, engaging community by each department, rather the social responsibility of each department is important. This way, of course, we have written these history of those villages is been written, and it is shared with those villages, so that they can understand their own village. This I already mentioned about Department of Economics, where we do socio-economic health survey. And this survey, of course, we have our own survey forms, and we go to, our student goes to those villages and they do survey of those villages. So I'm just keeping this because I already mentioned it. So there are language departments. So Marathi, Hindi, and English department. And for improving language, because improving in what sense? Improving means not going towards pure language. There is no term like pure language. There are people who say Pune Marathi is good and the Vidarbha Marathi is not good. It's not like that. Each language, of course, in India, we keep on saying that after every 10 to 12 miles, the language changes, the accent of the language changes. And this is the reason. For example, I'm giving one example. In our own village, the bullock cart has 125 words. And these words are now vanishing. For example, there is a word named as, I'm giving one example, येठान. येठान ही अशा प्रकारची गाठ असते की जी दोरखंडाला बांधून ती गाठ तयार होते, त्याला येठान म्हणतात. पण आता खूप साऱ्या मुलांना, खूप साऱ्या टीचर्सना येठान हा शब्दच माहिती नाही. किंवा असे अनेक शब्द आहेत, म्हणजे कुणब्याच्या घरात बोलले जाणारे शब्द, चर्मगाराच्या घरात बोलले जाणारे शब्द, ब्राह्मणाच्या घरात बोलले जाणारे शब्द. हॅलो, चौधरी सर, काही प्रॉब्लेम आला?
नो सर, नो, यू कॅन कंटिन्यू.
नाही, माझं शेअरिंग हे झालं म्हणून.
हा, शेअरिंग चेंज कर.
ओके, येतोय आवाज? येतोय ना?
आवाज येतोय.
ओके, थँक्यू.
येस,
मला कधी थांबवायचं सांगा, म्हणजे मग मी त्याप्रमाणे हे करीन.
हो सर.
ओके, थँक्यू. सो अशा पद्धतीने येठान हा शब्द जसा म्हणजे तो व्हॅनिश होतोय, तर तो आपल्याला जिवंत ठेवण्यासाठी मग ही डिपार्टमेंट्स काम करतात. म्हणजे प्रत्येक डिपार्टमेंट कम्युनिटी एंगेजमेंटसाठी काम करतच, आणि म्हणून मी हा उल्लेख याचा केला. सो what commerce department can do? Commerce department to audit of houses. So what is incoming and what is outgoing is a utilization. And that is what the audit we keep on saying. Of course, audit is not that easy, but I'm trying to give example that what commerce students do, because they know debit and credit, and they do a lot of work in the classroom. But when they go to a village in a particular house, and they keep on asking them that what is your incoming and what is your outgoing, and this way, why don't you put your own budget? Likewise, they train their these villagers, and there are a lot of results about this audit of houses, which is done by commerce people. So this political science department, they do understanding of Panchayat Raj. So political science department they actually visit Gram Sabha of these 20 villages, and of course students are mobilized such a way that they can go to particular Gram Sabha, especially on 15th of August and 26th of January. They go there and they do, of course, at the time of flag hosting, they remain present, and after that there is always a Gram Sabha. They sit there and they understand the problems, and they put it on a piece of paper and they give it to us, and we collect that data, we connect it to socio-economic survey, and this way these political science departments are also important. The psychology department, they do the counseling, especially they have their own counseling centers, and they do counseling of students who are in 7th, 8th standard, or even 9th standard or 11th standard. They have their own data sheet, and they ask students that which area you want to go for. There are students who keep on saying engineering, but we do survey and ask them that student, as your biology site is good, why don't you go for biology? I mean, you go for medical, or the people, vice versa is true. As this way the counseling is done. So now we have given one name to this community engagement, and that name is Karke To Dekho. Karke To Dekho ये क्या है? Karke To Dekho means these are actually two letters written by two very big shots of Indian from India. Karke To Dekho जेव्हा मिठाचा सत्याग्रह करायचा होता, तेव्हा गांधीजींनी असं ऐलान केलं की आपण मिठाचा सत्याग्रह करूया. म्हणजे आपल्याकडे खूप गाणं प्रसिद्ध आहे की उचललेस तू मीठ मूठ बर साम्राज्याचा खचला पाया. आणि गांधीजींनी जेव्हा ऐलान केलं की आपण मिठाचा सत्याग्रह करूयात, मोतीलाल नेहरूंनी त्याला प्रचंड विरोध केला. ते म्हणाले, असं मीठ उचलून कुठे मिठाचा सत्याग्रह होतो? गांधीजींनी त्यांना पत्र लिहिलं. पत्रात एकच वाक्य होतं, करके तो देखो. जेव्हा ते मोतीलाल नेहरूंना पत्र मिळालं, तेव्हा मोतीलाल नेहरूंनी ते म्हणाले की गांधीजी एवढं म्हणतायत, महात्मा म्हणतोय म्हटल्यावर आपण करून तर बघूया. म्हणून त्यांनी करायचा प्रयत्न केला. ते चांदणी चौकामध्ये दिल्लीच्या उभे राहिले आणि मिठाच्या सत्याग्रहाबद्दल बोलायला लागले, आणि त्यांना अटक झाली. इंग्रजांनी त्यांना अटक केली. अटक केल्यावर ते जेलमधनं त्यांनी गांधीजींना पत्र लिहिलं, आणि पत्र पुन्हा एकाच ओळीचं होतं, आणि ते म्हणजे करणे से पहिले ही देख लिया. आणि म्हणून तर करून पहा ह्या गोष्टीला अत्यंत महत्व आहे. आपल्याकडे मुळात काय होतं, 12वी सायन्स पर्यंत आपण जेव्हा मुलांना प्रॅक्टिकल्स देतो, तेव्हा ती प्रॅक्टिकल देतच नाही, ते आपणच करून दाखवतो. म्हणजे 10वी पर्यंत तर प्रॅक्टिकल हा विषयच आपला राहिलेला नाही. आणि म्हणून मग प्रॅक्टिकल म्हणजे ते जे करके तो देखो आहे, ऍटलीस्ट डू इट, ते जे आहे ते कुठेतरी मिसिंग. सो करके तो देखो is one of the best activity of a best word we have chosen for community engagement. So what is methodology? What I just narrated just now is adoption of the village. As I mentioned, we have adopted 20 villages. NSS special winter camps are taken to one of the village. Then field survey of all the villages, laboratory analysis, mapping is done to make available this data. Field surveys are done as the special entities, historical cultural aspects. The vegetation is recorded. Laboratory analysis, as it is mentioned earlier, also statistical analysis is done, cartographic analysis is done, chemical analysis is done, energy consumption is done. These are all I mentioned. So now this is a mapping. This is actual map of land under settlement of that particular village. This is map of Ajoti. Ajoti is 25 kilometers away from Indapur, and this is what the map is. Actually, this is a web page on our website. If you visit our website, you can see this also. This is so everything is there. So you can see history of village. You can see songs which are collected by Department of Marathi. The water quality, where are the water bodies? So this can be mapped together, and this way community is engaged. So what are the significance of community engagement? Planning and implementation of projects for rural development. These are cost effective because students are doing it. So it can be nationwide applicability. So this can be applicable to all villages of India. This can be strengthened. This strengthens the students' skills, different skills, because students will do a lot of survey, a lot of talkings are done, a lot of interactions are done. So their skills are all kind of skills, cognitive skills and the technical skills are learned by the students, and the students are strengthened. Patch up the rift between academics and the society, which I mentioned earlier. There is a big valley between society and academicians, and to bridge this gap, these kind of Karke to Dekho, another community engagement is important. So these are some of the pics of different things. So student play at sports ground, and we conduct Indapur Premier League, that is IPL cricket competition, where the villagers are also involved. We have one more we have one more example of community engagement, and this is waste management. Indapur Nagarpalika was at a ranking of 2,972 3 years back. So because there was land pollution, there was air pollution and whatnot. So we have developed one magic basket, because 40 years dumping ground was there, and everything was dumped on one of the ground where the land is almost 17 acres, almost it is almost 10 hectares of land. So these microbiology department students, I mean, we have given them idea that karke to dekho, karun tar paha, at least do it. These microbiology students went there to that dumping ground. They brought some waste material from there, and they have analyzed it, and they have developed a culture from, it's an in situ culture basically, and they have produced one bioculture, and now this bioculture is been distributed to all houses in a basket. We call it as magic basket. आम्ही त्याला जीवाणू टोकरी असं म्हणतो. जी जादुई टोकरी आहे, जादुई जीवाणू टोकरी. So it's a magic basket, and it's been distributed to almost 6,000 houses in Indapur city. It's not only rural area, you can do in city also. So this is a material which converts wet waste into fertilizer, and that so in Indapur city, no one uses now. I mean, no one gives wet waste to Hadgadiwala or the Kachra Gadi or Ghanta Gadi. So they consume their wet waste into Apanjala Ola Kachra Manto into the house only. So now this magic basket, and we have trained students. I'm not going in all details, and this has been well publicized, and the wide publicity was given by all papers and newspapers. So each house was involved in this. So of course, this magic basket is our again one of the flagship program. This was sorry. So as I said, this was well published, and now Indapur city is at 9th ranking at Pan India. It was 2,972, and in 3 years of time, it has been brought to 9th level. So and of course they got crores of rupees, 5 crore rupees each year for maintaining it, and they now have that three-star ranking also. Of course, we have MOU with them, memorandum of understanding, and they have given a few lakh rupees to us. As of course, we paid to students also for doing survey, 2 rupees for each survey of a village and house likewise. So this way, this is again one of the success story. These are again few things. We have employment issues also. I'm not going in details about. We have amateur astronomy club also. As Indapur is very clean, I mean, the Indapur villagers are, I'm not talking about Indapur city, but I'm talking about other things. We have our own telescope where we have amateur astronomy club. This is a typical Jupiter with 5 moons of Jupiter, and this is of course moon of Earth. So we have a research exhibition also. We have patented few patents. I mean, we have 8 patents which are filed. Not only teachers, but students also have filed 8 patents. We have snake handling workshops every year. We train 50 students every year as for snake handling, because there are different snakes here, because as it is a dam area, there are different snakes coming from catchment area, especially from Bhima Shankar and through Bhima river and Indrayani, Bhima, Bhama, Ujni, I mean Pauna, other Mula, Mutha, these are the rivers. So these snakes comes and they come to the farming land, and there are different casualties happening every year So to understand the poisonous and non-poisonous snakes, we have bird watching center also, and of course this is for community engagement. So these are our publications. We are very famous in doing continuous contour trenches, and these are for villages wherever there are water scarcities, we do this kind of work. Of course, this is very scientific, and this is again patented. This is patented by B.K. Dhonde, one of the technologists. This is done by Dr. Arun Deshpande, who is from Solapur. He's an engineer basically. He brought that patent. Of course, this is not a patent. This is patent, but it's not been sold or something. But this is freely available patent. You can go to Google and you can do Googling for this about CCT and all. So these are some another things. So we have disaster management camps also for villages also. So thank you very much for listening patiently. Thank you. Sorry, I was a bit. It was healthy for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your motivational talk. One question is there from participant side.
Okay.
In what way the social activities can be initiated by technical institutions or by pharmacy college, engineering colleges?
Yes, of course. You have your own departments, so you can think your own ideas in a village. If you go to village and adopt one village and understand their problem, then you for example, I'm giving one example. For example, you as an engineering college, if you go to village, then there is need of planning of that village. So planning that village means planning gutters of the village, doing geo mapping of the village, doing whatnot, or ask students to bring appliances which are not working in houses. For example, mixers are there, then fridge is there or something, and these electrical engineers, they can start repairing. When they start repairing means they understand the subject very well. So this way, community, you can connect to the community. You can initiate by any way. Initiation can be, for example, in one of the village, people were not allowing us to come inside, so allowing us to do work. So what we have done, we asked them to okay, let's play volleyball. So volleyball was the initiation, playing with them. So the villagers were on one side and teachers and students were on another side, and we started playing with them. And in playing volleyball, so after playing match, they started asking us what for you came, and then we started initiation. Initiation can be in different ways. We call it as chapati diagram, or we call it as you bring people together, do some activity, maybe cultural activity. When people come together, even आपण ज्याला मराठीमध्ये हळदी कुंकू म्हणतो, अगदी हळदी कुंकवाचा कार्यक्रम घ्यावा, लोक जमले की मग आपण त्यांना काहीतरी सांगावं. This way you can do activities. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Can you share what importance or what benefit we generally get with astronomy club, or how we can go ahead for the initiation of astronomy club?
Yeah. When we initiate astronomy club, so that of course villagers know many things, but when it matches with villagers and students, so they can understand that okay, now it is Chitra Nakshatra. So Chitra is there, or the Mruga Nakshatra is there, or some other Nakshatra, means they can understand. आपल्याकडे एक म्हण आहे मराठीमध्ये की 27 पैकी 9 जर गेले तर खाली काय उरलं, तर आपल्याकडे त्याला उत्तर 0 असं आहे. 27 नक्षत्रातली 9 नक्षत्र जर वाया गेली, तर त्या नक्षत्रात जर पाऊस पडला नाही, तर आपल्याला त्या नक्षत्रांचा काही उपयोग नाही. म्हणून नक्षत्र ओळखणं, राशी ओळखणं, आणि याच्या साह्याने पावसाचा अंदाज बांधणं, या हवामानाचा आणि शास्त्राचा अंदाज बांधणं हे सोपं जातं. म्हणून आपल्याला हे सांगणं सोपं असतं. अर्थात हा ज्योतिषाकडे जाणारा विषय नाही, हा ऍस्ट्रॉनॉमीचा विषय, ऍस्ट्रॉलॉजीचा नाही.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our principal Bormane sir to share his views.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So it's really, really very eye-opening presentation for we all of us in engineering teachers, and I really very surprised to know from that so many activities you people are doing at Indapur. And it's a really I5, or you can say more than I5 also. It's a initially told I college Indapur intelligence, and it through your presentation and case study of your college, really it is reflected. And you have mentioned whatever plan you are planning, it should be भान ठेवून आखावन बेभान होऊन राबवावं. Really it reflects from your activities. I really congratulate all the departments, you personally, for motivating all the departments and all the teachers and students to do so many activities which you are mentioned during your presentation, like soil testing or water testing and energies, all can be easily are very effectively done by the all engineering departments. And appeal all engineering teachers take this as an inspiration to everyone. And of course some colleges are doing, some of the teachers are doing, but engineering people or pharmacy people have a lot of opportunities to do in these different sectors and different areas. And thank you, sir, for giving a wonderful presentation and very excellent case study of Indapur College. And we are now very eager to visit your college. And सरांचं माईक बंद आहे चौधरी सर.
Please do come anytime. Whenever you come, please give me a ring so that I'll be here.
Definitely will come, sir. And for information, we are also our NSS unit is doing under Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. We are also adopted 5 villages.
Yeah, that's great.
We are trying to give technological solutions. Dr. Shezwas is doing, better. He is doing fantastic.
Yeah, I know. He's from electronics.
Yeah,
he was my colleague, so I know him.
Yeah. And I appeal all the principals and teachers from all engineering, pharmacy, and other technical institutes, even management institutes. A lot of scope is there to work in community engagement. And really, we got a very good speaker today, and he has eye-opened everybody's. And you have good opportunities. Thank you, sir, once again. Over to Chaudhary, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chakne, sir, for your motivational and inspirational talk. Always we say that think globally and act locally. So in real sense, we understood that concept after your speech. One more point I would like to highlight here, that when we go or see that graduate attributes and professional program outcomes, so out of 12 program outcomes, first 5 are related to technical capabilities, and remaining 7, I think with this community engagement, it will be easy for all the professional institutions to attain those program outcomes. And through your presentation, we got overview for that community engagement. So on behalf of organizing committee, all the participants and AISSMS College of Engineering, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sir, we will have one photo. Please wait for some time. Mavle sir.
Okay.
Yes, Mavle sir.
We will take group photo.
All participants, kindly start your video. Hello, participant, please start your video. Please wait. So many screens are there today. So before leaving, yes, we have to play one video. That video is developed by our second year ENTC student based on our college. So kindly be there for another 4 minutes. So that is a 4-minute video. So I'm just sharing that video.
साऊंड नाही का मावळे सर?
Bandwidth problem, I think.
तुम्ही सगळ्यांना व्हिडिओ ऑन करा म्हटल्यानंतर बँडविड्थ प्रॉब्लेम येणार ना. आम्ही बंद करतो व्हिडिओ आमचा. मिनिट तर करायला पाहिजे तुम्ही आवाज नाही म्हटल्यावर.
उद्या परत आपण हे करता येईल थोडं टेस्ट करून.
साऊंड असेल तर इफेक्ट चांगला जाणवतो. सेकंड इयरच्या मुलांनी बनवलं काय?
हो हो,
चांगलं बनवलं.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, चाकणे सर.
सर
खूप छान वाटलं आज.
थँक्यू सर, थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. चांगलं प्रेझेंटेशन होतं. आवाज नीट आला नाही त्या शेवटच्या तुमच्या
नाही सर, एकदम क्लिअर होतं सगळं. काही प्रॉब्लेम
नाही आत्ताच एससीचं प्रेझेंटेशन.
तुमच्या
आमचं ना ते मुलांचं जरा काही अचानक लावलंय, मलाही माहित नव्हतं. सेकंड इयरच्या मुलांनी बनवलंय, कौतुकास्पद आहे ते.
चांगलं बनवलंय.
हा
चालेल. ओके, थँक्यू सर.
थँक्यू सर.
थँक्यू.
येस सर, थँक्यू सर. बाय.
थँक्यू. नाईस मीटिंग यू ऑल. गुड डे.
Thank you, sir. Good day, and we'll meet after lockdown.
All participants are requested to join tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Valke sir, should I close the meeting?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes. You close.
Thank you.